Good morning, everyone. This is Edward, and we're off the beaten trail today in Mount Everest Memorial Park here on Southwested Street in Kalamazoo. Show you a couple points of interest here the next few minutes. Namely, right over here, there's a hawk that has made a kill of all things and is having a little bite to eat this morning. We'll see if we can get close here and see exactly what he has. I also want to talk about these beautiful bronze fountains, these beautiful cranes, and we'll get to that in a second. We'll look at what's going on here with this live bird. It's funny I can get this close. Let's see here. Let me get a little closer. There he goes. Right up in the tree. Looks like here, I won't get too close. A rabbit. Yep. Well, Mr. Red-tailed Hawk will leave you alone for a couple minutes. We'll go over here and take a look at the bronze fountains. Now, when I was a boy, and we'd come by here on Wested Street, which was only a 2-lane street at the time, these fountains, and there's another one that's behind me we'll look at in just a minute, these were fully operational. These were ponds built around them. They have the water and plumbing access right here. And I'll show you the spouts for the water right there. Another one here, and another one right over here. And of course, they're solid bronze. Sorry about the close-up. Well, farther back here. There's no markings on them as for foundry or artist, but I'm going to look into them a little further because they're very close in design to the ones that I've seen in person at Cypress Lawn Cemetery near Los Angeles, and it could very well be from the same artist. Mount Everest being a memorial park, most of the graves are flat to the ground. This cemetery was first opened in the middle 1920s and grew up the hill that you see behind us, and then future newer sections were added, including the mausoleum and crematoria, and then the new mausoleum sections to the south. The cemetery also has beautiful tablets engraven throughout the cemetery. We'll take a couple closer looks. The whole center section here at one time had a lot of flowers. It was a big garden, and later it was expanded into Veterans Memorial in the center there, and then internments all about. And of course, over here to the north is the second set of cranes there in its fountain setting, the same as the first. And so when you drive down the street, the fountains were going. It really looked nice. And I keep thinking that there is also a water feature here in the middle where the main flagpole is. And I really do think that there was something there too. But with that, we'll move along. As I mentioned earlier, throughout the cemetery, these very nice walls that have artists' carvings and beautiful engravings all over them. And we will go and take a look at this one here. Very nice little approach. Looking straight down to the entrance where we were a minute ago, and then up this very nice inscription and remembrance, as well as around the corner. There are more lined up across the entire border. You'll see them as we go along. Very nice, very inspirational. And again, the very nice inspirational tablets that you'll find along the fence line here. All these folks' homes, their backyards are right on the cemetery property line. You can sit out in your backyard and watch the sunrise over Mount Everest. That's the older of the mausoleums, the chapel and the crematoria. Another one of the beautiful four-sided tablets, a quadrangle tablet. See here? And I'm going to show you something that some folks view as controversial. This cemetery happens to have 4 of these. And I'm speaking of the Babylands. Now, all 4 of these, and I'm only going to show you one of them. We just passed one as we were coming in, and straight across from it, as here as well, straight across, just over the rise where you see the road go by those yellow flowers, is another Babyland. And they're all shaped like hearts. This is Babyland J. I'll try to get the right angle here so that you can see the heart. Take a look at it here from the opposite side. And there are several dozen infant internments here in each one of these Babylands. Here's the bottom of the heart. quite a touching place. Little baby land jay. We'll move along. I'm here now looking at the dividing line between the, call it the first phase of the cemetery back in the 1920s, the mid-20s, and the newer phases here to the east. The building ahead of me is what we call the old crypt area, mausoleum, the chapel, crematoria. There's the fountain. And over here is what's known as the new mausoleum, which, as I remember, was pretty well finished in the 70s. This old grand oak wasn't finished in the 70s. I'll guarantee you this tree was here in the 1870s. And I'm going to guarantee you for at least 200 years before that. This is going to be close to a 300-year-old tree if it was a day. And there she sits right there. Let's go down and take a closer look at the mausoleum. Now here we are outside of the old mausoleum. Little shot here of one of the inspirational tablets and of the south or newer mausoleum area. I'll take a little walk. This would be the way that the vehicle containing the deceased would back, and the guide that took us through here 20 years ago was not able to open the door. But the gurney would be pushed down here and around this corner. And into the facility. This is the East Chapel. A little more about that later. And of course the chimney and so forth. It hasn't been used in a long time. Many people don't even know what that was or even remember that it was there. It wasn't used for a very long period of time. Nice reflection this morning off the marble fascias of the crypts. Fountain there in the center. It's the maintenance area. The yellow vehicle is parked. And the West Chapel. And this is a mausoleum. You need a key to get in. Only family members can have a key. Niches for the cremains. Everyone in the cemetery are special, but there are three that are very special to me, and they're right here. That's my father and my mother, and just above my mother is her mother, my grandma. The gentleman that's in the crypt next to my grandma is not a family member. My parents, way back, were able to secure just these three crypts. And then some 30 years later, Mom and Dad used theirs, and Grandma before, in 1997. Very nice veterans decorations here. A nice quiet little place. It was right for my parents. I myself did not choose this form of internment. I am going to be cremated, and my daughter will have me on her fireplace mantle. So she says. So it shall be. At my father's funeral in 2009, the U.S. Marine Corps, he being a Marine, veteran World War II, Pacific, the Marine Corps lined up both sides of this sidewalk and stood with their M16s at a position of attention as they rolled my father's casket, which was draped with a flag, led by his minister, up the sidewalk, and then through these doors and to the far left, the front of the chapel. And then his casket was placed on a stanchion there for the service. We're going to take a little walk around there. And again, this is the east end of the mausoleum. These doors on the chapel were held open by two Marines. Inside, my father's casket was laying on a little stanchion right here in the center. And then we, excuse the reflection, I don't have access to the chapel, but we were sitting right here, if you can see it, in the front rows. The chapel was full. Standing right here was a Marine Corps Honor Guard. Taps were blown, and then they fired a 21-gun salute. And then the Marines closed these doors as the flag was folded over my father's casket and then handed to my mother just inside these doors. I now have that flag at home. Anyone that comes to my home, it's one of the first things they see. Till the day I'm gone, it's the way it's going to be. I hope the person I pass that along to does the same thing as I did. God knows they did it for us. I don't apologize for my emotion. I'm rightful to it. So are you. As I end this video here this morning at Mount Everest Cemetery, I'll take a little walk over to a beautiful wall that took quite a while to carve this, and then the artists were amazing, and the sculptures and statuary they produced. Take a closer look here. Of course, it is a three-dimensional carving of what's known as the Last Supper, or the sacrament, or communion in the Protestant faith. Just absolutely beautiful. And over the years, there's been some damage. There's a finger or two missing here and there. Apologize the flyover here. There they go. Now, I've never taken a video or looked behind this just to see once if there is anything on the back, and I don't see anything. The beautiful Monday morning setting here in Mount Everest Cemetery. And with that, I ask you if you would please subscribe to my channel if you so like. Hit that thumbs up button. I sure do appreciate it. And I look forward to bringing you more videos soon from a mass grave near South Haven, Michigan. Have a great day. It's August 1st, 2023.